Hey guys, Heath here with Shepherd's Forge. Like I said, I told you guys I would kind of bring you along on my little road through my medical issues. Um, I had my biopsy last week. If you've never had a biopsy, I don't recommend it. It was painful, it was uncomfortable, and I don't want to have another one. Considering they had to take 2 biopsies off the tumor on my tongue. Um, the biopsy test came back. Big surprise, it is actually officially cancer. I talked to my surgeon, and he went before the tumor board. Apparently there's a board for tumor cancer that he brought his findings to, and gave them what he wanted to go through as far as procedure goes. They approved it, so everything's been moved forward. I had labs and my first chemo treatment done. That was interesting. Labs are basically, they just draw a couple of vials of blood, no big deal. But the chemo treatment was, that was a little odd. And it's like a mix of chemo and an antibody that they mix in with it. And I don't know, that was kind of weird. Like, they give you this like massive shot of Benadryl before they give you the actual medication, and it just makes you super friggin' drowsy. I ended up spending 3.5 hours in the hospital. My sister was there. My sister took me. I'm glad she drove us. She came pick me up and drove us there, and I'm glad, because I wouldn't have been in any condition to drive home, especially since we drove home in a winter weather warning. I mean, it was almost blizzard effects. It was, and I was like passing in and out the whole way home. I was just so drowsy. When I came home, and I kind of tried to shake the cobwebs out of my head. I had like 2 beers. I was like, man, I'm just freaking exhausted. I went to bed. And the next morning, I woke up with, I don't want to say it felt like a hangover, but it was just like this massive headache in the back of my head. Like, I just felt super, super dehydrated. And so I just basically spent all day Saturday just pounding water and just laying on the couch. I mean, it took its toll on me. That was, I mean, nothing else. I mean, just like this massive headache and just feeling super dehydrated, and I just didn't want to do anything. The most I did was I got up at like 9:30, which is sleeping pretty late for me. I went to the bank and stopped off at the grocery store and came home. And from there, I just pounded water and like Netflix and chill, man. Amazon Prime and chill. What's next on the agenda? The 21st, which is Tuesday, I got to go in for my pre-op. That's my visit where I go in and they do a physical on me, make sure I'm healthy enough to have the surgery, and then I speak to the surgeons next up. I think they call it a fellow. Well, I'm not a real big fan of that guy. I talked to him, like, basically my problem with that guy is that he's got no bedside manner. I understand he's like fresh out of surgical school, but when me and my sister went in, and I hadn't seen my CT scans, I hadn't gotten any results yet back at that point. I've been talking to this guy for half an hour, and he says, "Oh, by the way, your cancer is completely treatable. It's completely operable. We can remove this." And I'm like, "Dude, I've been in here for like a half an hour. You couldn't lead with that when you came in the room?" So he's like, I'm sorry. I probably should have led with that." I'm like, "Are you sure?" So yeah, I'm not a real big fan of him, but I really like my surgeon. Anyway, they'll just go through surgical procedures, like how long, the minimum I could be in the hospital, the maximum I could be in the hospital, which is like minimum I'm gonna be in the hospital. I think they said like 36 hours, which is basically a day and some plus. Most people are there for 3 days, which is probably what I'm gonna be looking at. I mean, I bounce back quick, but I'm also having 5 teeth removed. This was some of the dental stuff I was gonna have done earlier. I talked about in one of my videos, but my surgeon was just like, "Hey, I can remove those for you a lot cheaper than a dentist will." He's like, "And in my line of work, obviously, I do that a lot." He's like, "Let me do it." He's like, "You're gonna be under. I'm already in your mouth as it is." He's like, just let me yank them out. I'll take care of it." So not only are they gonna be cutting this lymph node gland out, this cluster of lymph nodes out of my neck, taking the tumor off my tongue, but I'm getting 3 back molars that are busted off at the gum line removed there, and 2 that are busted off at the gum line removed back here. So I'm gonna be in rough shape. I'm probably gonna be there at minimum of 3 days. My dog's taken care of. I feel horrible because Rex and I have never been apart for more than a day, ever, since we've been together. I feel super guilty about that, but I got people that are gonna come over and hang out with him and make him feel safe. He probably won't eat a whole lot because he doesn't. If I go away for more than 10 hours or more, he usually just stops eating. But he will nibble here and there. I mean, that's just what he does. But my whole goal is to just like get better and get back to my boy. So on the 21st, I got my my physical, my pre-op. The 22nd, I go back for another lab and treatment, which means they're going to draw more blood. They're going to see what happened to my blood after the first treatment. Then I get a second treatment. And I got to be honest, I don't know if it's the placebo effect that's taking place here, because I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But after that first treatment, that first chemo slash antibody treatment mix thing that they're doing, like, my tongue doesn't quite hurt as much as it did, and I feel like the swelling went down a little bit. Not the swelling, but maybe it shrunk a little bit, and it kind of feels like the ball in my neck has come down. Like, it doesn't hurt quite as bad as it used to. And this is a good thing, because this treatment that they're giving me, they've been using in cancer patients that have already gone through what I've been through, and the cancer returned, and they've seen it shrink the cancer so that they can go in and operate again. They're now trying to use it in preventative measures, such as myself. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know if it's just all in my mind, but my tongue feels better, and I'll take it. And it doesn't hurt to swallow quite as much. I'll take it. I don't think it's all in my mind. I've been dealing with this for 2 months now, so I kind of know how it feels. But the 27th is when I'll actually be having my surgery. And I'll have to go back in on the 7th of February for my update. And I was told to basically be prepared to have at least 1 or 2 doctor visits every month for the next year. And I understand that. They just want to keep up. And obviously after a week they want to check everything, make sure I'm healing correctly. They want to give me 1 more week for healing, and then they're going to start radiation. And that's where I'm probably going to lose or get thinned out a big portion of my beard. And pardon me just a second. You know, I was told, oh, you might want to just go ahead and shave that off. And I'm like, dude, I'll rock a half a beard. I don't care. But no, I'm not getting rid of it. So that's just all there is to it. Not yet, anyway. If it starts to fall out, look real nasty, yeah, I'll take it back down to a goatee or whatever. But unless I have to, I'm not going to. But I just figured I'd give you guys a quick heads up of where I'm at. I'm feeling really positive about everything that's going on. I feel I'm going to make a pretty quick recovery, as quick as can be expected. But what I kind of thought about tonight is I'm going to be out of work for a minimum of 1 month. Okay, so I had enough in savings to cover all of my bills for 2 months. Now I'm broke. Well, I have a retirement fund, so I pulled some money out of there so I can live off of it. And I got taxes coming back as well. I just got my W-2s, so that's great. But it just made me think about, what do people in my position do who are living paycheck to paycheck? Like, they have nothing in savings. They're living out of their checking account. How do they deal with this? I mean, our healthcare system, I'm sorry, there's something seriously wrong. If I did not have my retirement account, I'd be pretty much screwed. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've spent a lot of money recently. I've stocked my freezer, my spare freezer, my refrigerator, my pantry for soups. I've written down a bunch of recipes for soft foods that I can make from scratch, because you guys know I love to cook. So I want to be able to make my own food. I don't want to eat a bunch. Granted, I want to gain the 20 pounds that I lost. I want to gain that back, but I want to gain it back in the right way, which is by eating healthy. I've still cut down my smoking by a gigantic margin. I'm waiting till after my surgery to go to my doctor to get on Chantix and give that a shot. But how would somebody in a position where they had nothing to back them up, how would they deal with this? It blows my mind. Now I understand how people lose their homes, lose their vehicles, go bankrupt, end up homeless. And all they're doing is fighting for their fucking life. So, anyway, it's just some food for thought. And I've met some cool people in the waiting room. I met a guy who's terminal, sitting in a wheelchair next to me. We were both sitting there waiting. He had tattoos. He was a trucker. I work with truckers all the time. He and I were shooting the shit for about 20 minutes. Super cool guy. His sister went to go, he got called out. His sister went to go wheel him out. Tapped me on the shoulder, said, "Dude, I think you just made my brother's day." He's having a real bad day. I think he just kind of brightened it a little bit. That guy's terminal. So, wherever you can, make a friend, talk to a stranger, be kind to people. And when you're in a room full of cancer victims, we're all there for the same reason. There was an older couple across from me that I think he was kind of eavesdropping on our conversation. And I'm like, hey, dude, we're all here for the same reason. We all got the same problems. And the dude, I could see the dude just started nodding his head. I was like, he gets it, you know. Sometimes you just got to reach out and poke a stranger and be like, what's up, dude? My name's Heath. So, from Heath here at Shepherd's Forge, still a little emotional, obviously, but like my buddy Mike Carlson said, I feel bad for that cancer, because you're going to torture the hell out of that thing before they pull it out of you, and it's going to know it messed with the wrong man. Thank you, 10-Speed. I appreciate it, buddy. So, anyway, guys, have a good night, and I will see you on the next video, which might be coming from my surgical bed. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.